I'm Jeff Stilling. Super Ali McCoist is alongside me. You heard from Danny Murphy and Virgil van Dijk's former Southampton teammate Charlie Austin. Liverpool skipper Van Dijk says he's yet to be offered a contract extension despite only having a year left to run. Should we really be surprised, though, Coisty, bearing in mind he's 34 next year?
Yeah, you got to take that into account, but at the same time, I'm extremely surprised there's been no chat. Surely there's been chat. I mean, he's come out and said he's yet to be offered a former offer of a contract extension. I would be staggered if that's what I'm saying, if the new manager, Arne Slot, hasn't come in and spoken in particular to the boys whose contracts are up at the end of the year. Am I not correct in saying is Trent's not up as well?
Yeah, and Salah.
And Salah, obviously. So I think the first thing he does is he comes in and chats to those three in particular. Chats to everybody, of course, but he chats to those three in particular and says, look, you know, where are you? What do you want to do, first of all? You know, would you be happy to stay if we're going to, if we can sort another contract out, maybe an extension of a couple of years? So I'd be absolutely staggered if conversations haven't taken place. I noticed he said he's not been offered a contract extension yet. That surprised me a little bit. I still think he's an integral part of Liverpool for the season coming up. I really, really do, Jeff. I think before his injury against Everton with a clash with Pickford, I actually thought he's probably the best centre-back on the planet. I really do. I think he was that good. And then, understandably, it took a little bit of time to recover from that injury, which can, as we all know, can be very, very serious. And I still think, you know, he's in Liverpool's team moving forward next year.
Look, I used to see a lot of him live before he went to Liverpool at Southampton.
Yeah.
And he was... Every performance was a masterclass. Not just his own performance, but controlling that back line as well. But I just wonder, 34, Salah will be 30, well, he's 32 now. You know, it's the sort of age when Saudi comes calling, isn't it? You know, and I don't know Virgil van Dijk, I don't know what his ambitions are.
But my point is, it should have been done by now. Liverpool fans, I think, would expect it. I know the window stays open to the end of August for a reason. I get that. But if you're a new manager coming in, surely you would want to know if two of your, if not key players, might be your best players, are going to be with you at the start of the season. I think the fans and certainly the manager would deserve to know that.
Yeah. Look, they've had a fantastic pre-season. Beat Seville yesterday as well.
4-1.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking really, really good shape at the moment. And bear in mind, a lot of those good results have come without a lot of the players who are involved in the Euros. So, and Salah apparently looks incredibly sharp at the moment, which is great news for all Liverpool fans. Now Shaban has rejoined us in the studio.
Good morning. There's a story going around today about Harry Kane. He's opened up about his post-Euros heart-to-heart with Gareth Southgate and revealed he's yet to speak to the new interim boss, Lee Carsley. Some of the quotes here from Gareth, Tom Barkley writing this in The Sun. Me and Gareth spent so many years together. We had so many good times together. We're obviously still both disappointed the way it ended for us, but Gareth will always be someone I will stay in touch with. So now Lee Carsley, the under-21s manager, is in as interim manager for the Nations League games. He'll take charge against Republic of Ireland and Finland. Kane's still not had a chat with him as yet, which seems about right. I guess, Ali, we've not really had your thoughts on Lee Carsley and the interim appointment as yet.
Deserves his opportunity, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. I mean, I looking at it, it makes sense that they maybe want to continue the train of thought of bringing coaches from within. They obviously did it with Gareth, and it was a success, a very, very big success in my book. Lee Carsley is well, you're going to be brutally honest about it, he's probably not one of the biggest names that maybe some of the England support would like to see there. But now that he's been given the opportunity, he should be backed 100% by the supporters, and I think he will be. And I think they're actually two good games for him, because I think if he goes and wins the game and wins them well, he puts himself in the equation.
Is that the plan, Jeff? Do you think that's the
well,
thoughts all along?
I think if he wins those games, there's no question he is then in absolute pole position. And people will look and think, we want a big name, and Lee Carsley isn't that big name. But I'll tell you what, people also, those who had a moan about Gareth Southgate will associate Lee Carsley with Gareth Southgate because he's part of the system, but he's his own man as well. And the under-21s played in, I think, a slightly different way, scored a lot of goals, did really well under him. The FA, they will look at what the Spaniards did with De La Fuente, who's come up through the system as well, and thought they've had success there. So it's a great opportunity for him, and there's no point in us being blinkered and saying, well, he's not the big name we wanted. Let's see how he does.
Yeah. It's nice to hear some positive chat around that, to be honest. And also read a good couple of articles on him over the weekend. People like Anthony Gordon saying that he's one of the best managers they've ever come across. He has got something really, really spot on.
We've got a lot of young players who have, who have played under him, who know exactly what he's like.
And also then the opportunity for the other players who will be fighting their way back into the England squad. So many big names that he gets to choose from. I mean, the squad's exceptional.
There aren't many big name managers who are scrambling for the England job, let's be honest.
No, it's true. And I've got to say, I'm really interested to see the reaction from actually three of the boys that never made the squad as much as anything. We mentioned Grealish, Maddison, Rashford, Sancho, boys like that as well, obviously.
Sterling even wants to get back in.
Well, he had a good start the season last year, but I think the biggest surprises were obviously. I genuinely wouldn't say Rashford was a massive surprise. I didn't think he deserved to go, but you'd have to consider Maddison and Grealish a little bit of a surprise. So I'm really interested to see how those kind of guys react as well. But it's what an opportunity it's for Lee Carsley, and as Jeff correctly says, go and win those 2 games. You get yourself a right chance of getting the job.
Will the fans be happy? Should the fans just get on with it and support him regardless?
The fans will be happy if he wins those 2 games. I think, the fans will be happy with a winning team. That is for sure. Look, if he doesn't win those 2 games, then, the discussion starts all over again.
Yeah.
So he's going to be under a lot of pressure in those 2 matches, and personally, I wish him well. I hope we win them both and win them well.
I mean, you look at England and they've tried the Capellos and Ericssons and all these kind of guys as well, with no real great degree of success. And I know a lot of people level of criticism, and I get it. Gareth, England still haven't won anything, but you'd never say anything on that. England have been a massive improvement under Gareth. Of course they have, massive improvement.
Yeah, I mean, his record was brilliant. But you talk about Capello. Capello's statistically the most successful England manager, and yet he was reviled in this country, generally speaking. It's amazing, But hey, Lee Carsley will be his own man.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how he does. That's for sure. Shaban, thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, the Palace fan, says, morning lads, just on Ben Sirk's hamstring.
Brilliant.
Unfortunately, I suffered a hamstring injury bowling to my 10-year-old. 2 weeks later, thinking I was healed, I then pulled it on a trampoline. Neither was due to alcohol. He needs to man up and listen to my suffering. Thanks, Paul.
Good on you,
We
Paul.
feel your suffering, Paul.
Yeah.
It's 7:28, very nearly 7:29. Coming up, we turn our attention back to the Olympics and celebrate the stars of Paris.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.